I hate to tell you this, but you are going to fail on Poshmark if you are not doing these three things. These three things are critical to making sales on Poshmark, to increasing your sales on Poshmark, or to just being successful, whatever your level is. Whether you want to be a hobby seller, a part-time seller, or a full-time seller, everyone needs to do these things just the same. It just maybe what level you want to do them at. These three things are critical, and this is going to be short and sweet, but a little bit of tough love for you today. I've got three things for you that if you're not doing them, you're going to fail on Poshmark. Download your free reseller resource guide today. I constantly update and share with you discounts, favorites, tools, and resources to help you with your reselling business. After the video, click the link in the description and get your totally free guide today. First thing is sharing. And before you click away, hear me out, because I feel like everyone needs to get a reminder from time to time, unless you are like me and you are literally doing every single thing to the utmost degree, every single process that you have, every single sales tactic and strategy, unless you have them all dialed in, everyone can use a reminder. So whether you are a seasoned seller or you are new at this, hear these three things out, because we all need a reminder. We are probably all not doing these things to the best of our ability. There's some wiggle room. I feel like it is out there with each and every one of you. I would say, if I had to venture a guess, 87% of you need something from this video. Maybe there's 13% of you that don't, because you've been very good at watching my videos and you have every tiny thing dialed in. But 87% of you, I feel like, need some little something from this video. So keep watching in case you're part of that 87%. So sharing. I've done a video on this. I've done probably a few. I have shared my exact sharing schedule, how many times I share, all of this. But I can tell you right now, you need to share every single day up to the maximum, which, as far as I'm aware, is 9,000 shares per day. So how many times you can share your Poshmark closet will depend on how many items you have. So if you have 1,000 items, times 9 is 9,000 shares. So you can share your Poshmark closet 9 times per day, spread out over the different hours. So like, I would start my sharing schedule at 7 a.m. Eastern, and then you might want your next share at 11, and then you might want your next share at this time, heavier in the evening, so that you can spread across Eastern time zone and Western time zone. Spread out. Like, I believe you shouldn't have more than 4 hours in between shares if you can help it, because so many items are being shared on a constant basis. There are lots of small closets out there that can share their items many more times. So if you become a larger closet like mine, where you have over 1,000 items, sometimes I even have up to 2,000 items, not recently, but in the past, I've had over 2,000 items, your ability to share goes down. So not only is sharing important, that you share up to the max for whatever amount of items you have. If you're not sure, check out my sharing videos so that you have all of this information. You need to share all of it. Now, if you're doing it yourself, you're never going to share that amount. If you have help, like a Poshmark bot, I use Posher VA. I highly recommend Posher VA. If you use my code Rebecca the Reseller, you'll get 20% off. Links are down below. When you set up your Posher VA, you can set it up to that schedule, set it and forget it, never have to worry about it again. And you can have that schedule going on day in, day out, all the time. So that is what you want to do. You want a bot working for you round the clock, because you as a human will never be able to share the amount of times that it can for you. You just won't do it. So it's highly worth the monthly subscription to get that, so that it's working for you. And you want to share up to the amount 9,000 times for your closet size. But then also the second part of this is to keep in mind what is in your closet. So if you have 100 items, you can share a ridiculous amount of times. You don't really need to worry, and you're probably newer at this, so you're figuring things out. But if you're someone that has 1,000 items or more, and you're at that 9 times per share, you are starting to get into dangerous territory with regard to what items are in your closet taking up shares. If you have a bad buy from your very first couple of weeks of reselling, you should get rid of it and replace it with an item with all of your newfound knowledge as an experienced seller. You should replace that item with something else because you are basically taking up one of your shares for this crappy item when you could be sharing that item on a good item and then it will sell, and then you can replace it with a good item and then it will sell, and it's that same sharing slot, if you will. So you get 9,000 sharing slots per day. If you have 1,000 items, you can share 9 times. And if every time you share 9 times your 1,000 slots of items, why would you share 9 times the crappy item that you bought your first week of reselling that's never going to sell, that's flawed, garbage, no name, blah, blah, outdated, whatever? Get rid of that sucker. Replace it with something good that you know now is going to sell. Go into your death pile and replace it. Right now, go do it. Because that is how you need to look at it. Like, it is getting to the point where if you really want to scrape out as many sales as possible, you need to be very strategic about what you're doing. And so people just say, yeah, I'm sharing and I do it when I can, or yes, I have my bot, but you're not even fully utilizing your bot. Or if you are fully utilizing your bot, you're not fully utilizing your slots. And so all of that is connected, and that directly impacts how much sales you make. Because if you're not sharing enough, your items are not getting seen enough in a search toward the top. And so the more items you have, the less times you can share, which means there's longer time periods for other people to share their items after yours. Their items are going to get higher up in the search results. And so no one's going to see your item. And then it just sits and sits and sits and sits and sits. So I hope that a very basic topic like sharing got through to you in a new way. You knew you needed to share more. Maybe you already are. You know you need a sharing bot. Maybe now you're going to make the best use of it you possibly can and have it shared to the max. And if that's not enough and you've already done that, your next level up is to make sure that you're only sharing items that make sense to be in your Poshmark closet because you are running out of slots. So that's sharing. I want to make you aware of the hottest, the best deal I have ever offered in my Rebecca the Reseller Academy. To find it, all you have to do is scroll all the way down to the bottom and you will find this right here. Hot deal, best value, all courses and digital downloads for life. This is it, friends. This is as good as it's going to get. I'm giving you everything I have in my academy, all the digital downloads, all the courses for just $20. The best part is if I create a new digital download going forward, you will get it absolutely free. This is the time to lock in the best deal I have ever offered. All you have to do is go to Rebecca the Reseller Academy, scroll down to Hot Deal, and purchase it for $20. If you're wondering what comes in this, it's everything. So you're going to get all of my courses, and you're also going to get all of the digital downloads that I've created, including my keywords list, my listing forms, my Poshmark closet signs. Everything that I have created and everything that I ever will create will be yours for literally $20. Next one is keywords. And again, don't click off now. I have lots to say on this, and I promise you, you are missing keywords. I know I'm missing keywords. We are all missing keywords because there's always new keywords. So keywords are important because they pull you into a search. That's how SEO works. If you have a certain word on your listing and someone searches for red wool coat and you have red coat, you may not get pulled into it because you don't have wool, and someone that has red wool and coat is going to pull in and you're not. So you need to have all of the keywords that make sense for your items that are relevant so that you can get pulled into as many searches as possible. So someone might search red coat. If you have red coat, you're in. If you have red wool coat, you're in. If someone searches wool coat, Zara wool coat, and yours is a red Zara wool coat, and you have those keywords, you get pulled in. So if you have 10 words and someone searches for 2 words, as long as you have those 2, you're pulled in. If someone searches 2 different words, a different person, and you also have those because you have 10 words, you also get pulled in. So every word that you add that is relevant pulls you into yet another person's search. So it's possible that you and I could have the same item, and I have 10 keywords on mine and you have 4. And every single day, I'm pulled into 50 searches as a result of those 10 keywords, and you're pulled into 10. Who do you think is going to sell that item faster, me or you? I mean, obviously anyone could sell it, right? It only takes one. But this is a numbers game. This is a numbers game because there's so many items out there. There's only so many people searching for the one thing in the right size with the right color and the right style and whatever. And so between sharing, figuring out what rank you're going to be basically in that search, and the keyword pulling you into that search, both are super critical. So you need the keyword to pull you in. And you might be really good at describing your item with the basics. Red wool coat, car coat length, wool blend, long sleeves, tie belt, oversized lapel, I don't know, whatever, blah, 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 pockets. And, you might know many keywords, but you might be leaving out the not obvious keywords. So someone might be searching for long coat. And if you've ever watched my crazy keywords videos, you'll know people search for that all the time. Long dress, long coat, long sweater. They don't know the right word, so they just call it long. If you don't have long in there, you're not coming up in that search. They might say scarlet red, crimson red, burgundy, whatever. If you don't have those in there, you're not pulling up. One of my favorite things to do is add all of the similar colors so that if I call it salmon and you call it coral, but we both mean the same thing, and really neither one of us knows exactly which one's which because none of us are Pantone color of the year experts, then we don't know. And so you should put salmon and coral on there. You should. I mean, you should also put orange pink on there because someone doesn't know coral or salmon. And those are the colors that are all swimming around the same area. Also, wine, burgundy, merlot, deep red, like red brown. People put that all the time. Goldenrod and what's the other one? Mustard. So these are things that are important. Adding additional keywords that are redundant get you pulled into more searches. Adding keywords for the essence of an item or where you wear an item or the style, like minimalist versus bohemian, instead of just describing the elements of the item. These are important. And so you have to just think about all that stuff. And if you're new, or you just don't spend a lot of time on your listings, or you just didn't think it was that important, I'm here to tell you that it is very important. You can make a sale immediately after you add another keyword to an item. That is how powerful it is. If I have red wool coat and then I add tweed on top of it and someone searches red tweed coat, boom, I come up, especially because I just edited it. So it will be up higher because it's like I just shared it. And so these are things that you need to think about. These are the things that differentiate a professional seller who can make a full-time income from reselling to someone that doesn't, and I have been a full-time reseller for almost 10 years. So obviously in the very beginning, I was not very good at it, but I learned and I learned and I learned, and now I'm still not perfect. There are still so many keywords I don't know, but I promise you that I have a good amount in there. And honestly, I don't do my listings anymore. My VA does. She puts in the best that she can, and that sells many items. Then the ones that don't sell, from time to time, I'll go back in and just jam out like a bajillion more keywords, and that will usually get them to sell, along with all the other, business practices that I have. So I think that not putting an emphasis on these basic things like sharing and keywords, and kind of not really paying attention to all the nitty gritty that you should, and kind of like just washing over them, is a big mistake. And you can get a lot more sales if you really dialed in your sharing, and you get a lot more sales if you really dialed in your keywords and upgraded that. The last one is offers. And again, I have talked all the videos about offers, and I have provided multiple videos about my offer to liker strategy, things that I've added to my offer to liker strategy, that I utilize the waterfall method. And I do have some other videos coming out, like really explaining the waterfall method, because some people still have questions even after my initial video. I give my exact schedule of what percent I send out, when I send it, what day, what time, all of it. So I'm not gatekeeping any of that information. You can literally do exactly what I do with regard to offers. So I give all of that away. But I think the point here is that you might be sending offers. You might get home at the end of the workday, or, when you're sitting down watching TV before bed, and you send out offers to everybody that's liked items in your closet, or you send it out on your whole closet, and that's great. That's great. And I'm sure that you get some sales from that. But it is not dialed in enough to make sales or increase your sales from where they're at. You can't expect to get more sales doing the same thing. So you need to do something different. And one of the ways that you can do something different is to really dial in your offer strategy. So utilizing the waterfall method, having a schedule, sending progressive and aggressive offers consistently is how you get the job done. I'm not going to go over all of that in this video. That video is available. Just search Rebecca the Reseller, offer to likers, and you will find it. But follow that strategy. And I think that it's not just about you doing it. This is another one of those Posher VA things. Posher VA can send more offers in faster time without you having to do it than you ever could. You're never going to send the amount of offers that Posher VA can. So it makes sales for you in the middle of the night, when you're at your son's baseball practice, when you're at work, when you're hanging out at brunch with the girls, or whatever you're doing. It is making sales for you. It is your sales machine. And so I don't feel like in this Poshmark climate that we are in, that people that want to make serious money at this and are expecting to maybe go full time or want to make a good, decent part-time salary at this, you need Posher VA to be sending these offers for you in the way that I say, with a really dialed in strategy. It doesn't need to be my exact strategy, but I think the elements of having a strategy are very important. So it doesn't have to be my exact schedule. It doesn't have to be my exact percentages. But sending multiple throughout the week, progressive and aggressive offers, even if it's a sliding scale from mine, I think will be really critical. And so you might have this, but you might not. And so I highly encourage you, if you are looking for that one thing that is going to very easily, like low-hanging fruit, increase your sales, getting Posher VA to send your offers for you and setting it up in the way that I recommend could be that thing. Could totally be that thing that gets you a whole bunch more sales every single month without you having to do any more work. So I highly hope you consider it. That's it. I mean, these are the three things: sharing, keywords, offers. It sounds very simple, basic, like Poshmark 101, but I think the things that I talked about today are like Poshmark 103 or 301 or however that works. But this is like junior level. Like, you're not freshman level. This is junior level Poshmark here. You can make a lot more money on Poshmark by just implementing some simple dialing in of your strategies. And I wish you nothing but the best. I want you to make more sales. It doesn't hurt me if you make more sales. So I want that for you. So go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Are you going to implement any of these strategies? Are you already doing these strategies? I would like to hear from you so that I know, like, is this new information to you, or is this something that we're already doing? Like, let me know where you're at. Are you part of the, what did I say, 87%, 83%? I don't remember, that are not doing these things. So let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Posher VA is a tax-deductible business investment that pays for itself many times over each month. It increases Poshmark sales because it shares and sends offers more than I ever could manually. It handles all my shares, automatic offer to likers, bulk offers, and it can do price drops and relists. When my coaching clients add Posher VA, it makes more sales basically immediately. The best part is that you get your time back. More time with family, thrifting, whatever. Get 20% off with code Rebecca the Reseller and the link below.